Welcome back to the channel, fam. Welcome back to the channel. This is Brian, the introverted marketer, and it ain't hard to tell. It's simple. Now, first and foremost, family, I gotta be honest. I've been trying to make this video time and time again, and I've been having some issues. But mostly it's just been my fault and how I was trying to set up the product. And the product today we're gonna be discussing is Git Page. It's by Ambitious. He just released another video on it. And today we're going to get into it. So what is Git Page? Well, Git Page, what it allows you to do is create your own website, and essentially you own the code, but you can have it hosted on GitHub or GitLab completely for free. You know, taking advantage of their infrastructure to host your website completely for free. And we're going to go through this page right here and learn a little bit more about Git Page. And how it works is you fill out the form, the AI is going to generate it, and it's going to auto deploy, and you're going to have a live site. But before we go everything, because you know, if you go to Ambitious, he gives you through the quick cuts and stuff like that. But we don't do the quick cuts on this website. We're transparent. We go through the process. And I want you to understand that if you make a mistake here, you will get stuck. And Ambitious is in Australia. Ben is in Australia. So if you have an issue reaching out to him, it could be because you're not in the same time zone. So you need to watch videos like mine or other people that's covering this product specifically, so that you understand that if you miss a step and things don't go right, you could have a little bit of issue reaching out for help. They do have this right here. Now, the reason why I still invested in it, because even with those caveats, is because I understand that being able to, and I want to just go back over to the video, have this many websites, and that's whether you host it for free or not, is powerful, especially if they're optimized for SEO and GEO with the LLMs and everything. And you get to choose your build, a website, a store, video sales letter, whatever you want to do, complete with pages, sections, and an SEO optimized blog. Now I use Hostinger, but Hostinger is just one option. This is another option. I also have Zelfie. One thing you got to learn on this channel, fam, or maybe not, but one thing I believe you should take into consideration, and I say time and time again, you need to have options in your business, because things can happen, policies can change, and you can't let what one policy is doing affect your entire business. So here's what the difference is between how Git Page operates and other AI builders. It's pure HTML, instant indexing, built-in meta tags, lightning fast load themes, perfect for ranking. And we're going to test it out with, I believe it's pagespeed.dev, and we'll see how it goes. Now, there's a couple tools I use for AI builders, medo.dev, and I also use EasySite. Both come with hosting, and both allows you to own the code and take the code, and you can host it wherever you want. And that's the main draw for me, owning the code, the front end and all that stuff. So why static HTML wins for SEO? So they're saying search engines like Google prefer websites that can crawl instantly, and with Git Page, your content is immediately available in HTML source code. So no JavaScript execution is needed. This means faster indexing, better rankings, and more organic traffic from day one. And you understand, one thing with people is speed. Now I understand everybody might not appreciate the long form videos and how I break things down. So this might not be for you. But for everyone else that wants to see things broken down, this may be for you. So how quick can you get a website generated? It's usually within minutes. So I'm not going to have you sit here and waste time looking for it. So what I'm going to do is what he did in the video. I'll put a stopwatch. I have the stopwatch run. I'll pause the video and tap back into the video, and then you can see how it goes, how long it actually takes. So the type of websites you can create with GitLab, they're flexible, commercial, even though, mind you, that you're not on a paid plan to necessarily need to use it for commercial. So they recommend in GitLab for your hosting provider for maximum flexibility with commercial and business websites. You own complete source code in your GitHub, GitLab repository. So that's the main draw here, is that you own the code. When you own the code, you can do whatever you want. Things change, terms change, people change. It don't matter. What's yours is yours, and you could take it with you and do with it as you see fit. Simple. So you can use GitLab or GitHub if you want. You can use Netlify, Vercel, or any other hosting platform. Now, one thing you need to know, you do need your API key. And they specifically say Open Router, even though they accept Gemini or Google, they accept Anthropic and accept OpenAI. But for cost efficiency, they're using API keys. And once again, you can download the code. You can access the code. Just have to reiterate that again because it's extremely important. So the cost per website, it's about 20 or so cents. I got the Open Router here. So we're not going to guess. I'm going to show you transparently what it's going to cost me based on what I'm doing. And then you'll be able to get an idea. It's going to be different because not everybody's website is going to be like mine, but it'll give you an idea if you want something simple, how much it may cost you. So that's how we're moving today. So with refunds, generally all sales are final. There are exceptions, and you should see the terms of service policy for details. So we can check that as we continue here. Once again, owning the code. And they really want to emphasize in the cost benefits right here. Maybe 50%, and you do get a AI agent like feature where it is using your Open Router API, but you can essentially communicate in the chat and say, hey, fix this or do this, and it'll do that for you on your behalf, and it'll just deduct credit. So it does cost you, but that is a nice little cool feature to have. You're just paying for it directly. Once again, no subscription, no branding, none of that. Well, unless you keep it on the GitHub, the GitLab or the GitHub hosting, and you get the free URL, and you can get that indexed, no problem. So the website is built programmatically. So you generate landing pages, stores, and whatever you want to do with Git Page. And here's some of the people that are sharing their genuine experiences with the product. And of course, we can go ahead and check out the terms of service so we understand. And we'll ask ChatGPT, can you break down the terms of service as if my IQ is 80, please? Specifically, when and how and what conditions am I entitled to a refund? We'll go from there. And we'll do that just so you can understand. You're never entitled to a refund, not for any reason, not ever. So, do they give refunds? No. They say every sale is final. Okay. What if the service doesn't work for me? Still no refund. They say technical problems don't qualify. They'll try to help, but no money comes back. What if I don't like the product? Still no refund. Not liking isn't the reason they accept. What if the service never worked at all? Still no refund. They do not promise refunds even if it breaks or fails. What if laws in my country say I should get a refund? They say your country's laws don't matter. They force everything under Australian law, specifically New South Wales. They also say you give up any right to cooling off periods or refund rights of a country's offer. So Ben is very, very strict with it. All sales are finals. We do not offer. This is just the ChatGPT interpretation, but you can see it here. Digital nature of service. By purchasing a subscription and one-time payment, you acknowledge and agree that. Right? Regardless of your location, you agree that. So they're very, very strict on their terms. Pretty much, you can't ever get a refund. And I know that may turn some people off from the video, but understand that on this channel, I take those risks for you and I fully review things, right? Some people look at the videos and they see the nice edits and things like that, but they don't look at the videos like mine where we're going through the terms and everything beforehand so you can understand. And with business, things are risky. The terms can change with Git Page. The terms can change with GitLab. But the most important thing is when you're using Git Page is that you own the code. So no matter what Ben trying to do anything like that, as long as you make sure you download the code, if the website or something goes down, then you're good. Now, it seems like a little rough to come with these in the beginning if I'm trying to introduce a product, but I just want you to understand that we're going through all of this because it's information that you need to know. So I'm gonna appreciate ChatGPT for giving me that bit of information so I could share with you. So with that being said, we want to actually get into the pricing so we can understand what it costs. So it just went up from the last time I did the video. So they're running an offer right now. The one time is $149, and for the basic, and the pro is $299. Now, to keep things transparent, I've been with Git Page since version 1 when it was only GitHub. There was no GitLab. There wasn't any of that. And previously, this was on a lifetime deal, I believe, on Product Canyon. And I was going to do a video promoting that, but they've since then removed it from there. So right now, at the time of this recording, to my knowledge, and I haven't looked elsewhere, you can only get Git Page strictly through the GitPage.site, and nowhere else have I seen it on a lifetime deal. Now, these are your options here. 25 websites per month for the $149, and here you can get unlimited websites. So if options matter to you, then $299 it's not a big deal. But if you're on a budget, 25 websites per month is also fine. Right? So they advertise the 100% free website hosting. Now everything needs to come with a caveat, because the website hosting and everything the terms is dependent on GitLab and GitHub. So that's one thing you need to understand. But with the pro version, you get the one-click sitemap, which is important for indexing in Google and stuff like that, the one-click schema markup. So this here is nice. So Git Page is really for those that people just want to like one click and have things done, or go into a chat bot, tell it do this, do that, and get it done. And at the same time, you own the code. So we appreciate that. I appreciate that they're upfront with the terms, so that if you take that risk, you understand what you're getting into. It's really just as simple as that. So with that being said, we're about 12 minutes into the video, and we just pretty much went over the website and their terms and their FAQs, but we haven't actually talked about the product yet. Or they're also going to be launching on YouNeed if you want to check it out there, and things may be different over there. I've done a video on YouNeed, and if you haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure you do check out that video. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check it out and see what that actually is. But we're in the dashboard, and I'm showing you this right here so you understand that there's a lot that you got to set up in order to get this to work, right? Because you see the video and you see the flashy stuff and it makes it seem simple, but it's not. You have to have a little bit of competence, and it's not to insult anybody, but you just have to know what you're doing. And you can see from the terms and conditions that Ambitious, or Ben, is a very strict person with this. So you need to have an idea of what you're doing. You can see that you need a token for GitLab. You need your API for OpenRouter, API for GitHub. This is Skip because I'm tapping in with GitLab because of the new features. You need your API for Anthropic. You need your API for Gemini. You need your API for OpenAI. And also, you can generate API here if you want to use it, somewhere else. And they have their own API help and documentation here. All right. And you also have a Skool. You can see over here in the keys, they give you the recommended setup as soon as you go over here. They recommend OpenAI, so I just went with OpenAI, even though I personally prefer Gemini, but I'm just going with everything that they recommend because it still comes out good. And I'm going to show you how it comes out. My website is not live because there was an error on my part, but I'm going to show you how it looks. And I'm going to show you that I've actually had some websites hosted with GitHub. So as you can see here, all my keys and everything is here. Even Typeform, when Typeform was the only one that was there. Then they went over to Web3. And of course with GitLab, they give you the links to everything. And if you go over to my sites, you can see that these are sites here that are published, but they do not work. And I'm being transparent that I actually messed up a lot. That's why I didn't hide anything from you. In fact, we can go to hidden and I've messed up a lot. You can see a lot of these these sites are not live. They're just dead. Now, I wish there was a way to delete these just to keep things looking somewhat presentable, because if it didn't work or if it failed for whatever reason, I feel like you should have the option to be able to delete it. But that's just my opinion right there. And we can go to published, and you can see here, like, you click and it's dead because of a mistake that I did. And they actually give you instructions. Like, if you go over get started, you head into the documentation, it shows you how it works. So this is the first place you go to before anything. It's the first place you go to. It tells you how it works. It tells you the required setup, the GitLab, which is required. I would just recommend also just doing the GitLab. Go straight for GitLab because it's just better. It looks better. In the beginning, when it was just GitHub, it was only Claude that was doing everything. Now with OpenRouter, it's a combination of Claude, Gemini, or rather Anthropic, Google Gemini, and OpenAI that's building your website. And you can see here, they even pushing people over from GitHub and the direct API. You can still use GitHub for hosting and direct API keys, but they're really stressing right now to use GitLab, and that's just to show you that things could change. So this right here is where you need to pay attention. Now, the main differences between GitHub and GitLab is restriction on commercial sites. Now, I use GitHub in a way where I direct traffic to something where that's like affiliate, but there's really no affiliate links on the website. It's just a website for information. And then if you want further information, you can go to the website where it is information, like for affiliate products and things like that. So that's how I was using the GitHub in the beginning. But they've been pushing GitLab, and if you mess up anywhere here, like you see with the token name, and well, the token name don't matter, but if you don't select the correct scopes, you mess up, you have a problem. And I've been having a problem consistently with this, and I'm just being transparent with it, because this is right here. Your website deployment will be blocked. That's why you've seen a lot of my websites that was not working. Even though I thought I followed the instructions good, I still messed up. That's why I went and did things again. You can see I created a whole new token, made sure everything was good as the instructions were saying. Because you just have to make sure everything is good. That's why I'm saying this specific tool, if you don't have a certain level of competence and being able to follow the instructions step by step, you may find yourself jammed up and blaming the product when it's really not the product, because the product works good. And I'm going to show you that. It's just that somewhere in instructions, you might have lost your way or did something wrong, and then it doesn't work out for you. And then it pretty much just gives you instructions about the different API keys and how things work. And it's saying that December 31st, and today is December 9th, 2025. Use OpenRouter for everything. I have all my API keys there, but everything is being depreciated from Anthropic to Google, OpenAI. If you want to use the API for programmatic website generation, you can do that. I showed you that. So the hosting options and restrictions, we already went over it. GitLab currently is no restrictions. SaaS and business websites, affiliate and marketing sites, e-commerce and online stores, commercial landing pages, and GitHub. They show they allowed uses here. So you can see I use it as an information website, no affiliate links, but I do push it to a site that does have affiliate links. But I might sunset those because GitLab is better. And of course, make sure that you read the guide, because you get a lot of issues with GitLab when you don't follow through. Right? Because you've seen right here, the website returns 404 not found and the account not validated. So I made sure that I validated my account to make sure that everything is good. I waited some days, I validated it. But if you don't validate your account and you say it's the most common issue, then you'll find your website's blocked. And my original thinking was, once I validated it and let everything to cool, then my sites would pop up. But really, what had happened is that my sites, they're still 404, even though I'm validated. And this is my regular affiliate, well, not affiliate website, information website, and I could just show you how that looks. All right. This is what it is, strictly about doorbells and things of that nature. And then you click here and it goes to an affiliate website where I can do what I need to do. So that's how I was using it. But as you can see here, well, you can't see yet. If you go over to edit, it don't matter that it don't work. Because if I want to take this code here, you see how nice it look? If I want to take this code here and host it elsewhere, I could do that. It's already created. I could still talk to the agent and ask it to do certain things because it's already created. And then it'll do what it need to do. And then, since GitLab blocked me, it don't matter. I could just export this code, take it to something maybe like Easy Site, MeDo, or wherever I want to take it, host it somewhere else, hosting or whatever, and go from there. See, that's the beautiful thing about GitPage. Even if you mess up and you can't get it hosted on GitLab, you still have the code right here, and you can take it and pretty much export it anywhere, or export it and host it anywhere. So that's how they work with that. But I've been doing a lot of talking and not showing you. So let's go ahead and get to showing you. We're going to go ahead and start with a new site. You can see I did affiliate marketing, digital marketing twice. So I don't know what this is going to be about. So maybe I'll say that this one is going to be about creating digital products. We'll do that. And you can see here we have 4 different options, from the default website, the product store, the video sales light, and the webinar. But we're going to go ahead and go with the default website. And we're going to hit next. For English, and you can see these are the languages that they have right here. I'm not sure if they're going to add more, but these are the language options that you have to select from. We'll select next. What's the main heading for your landing page? Let's pull up the clutch one, para speech. Oh, 1 second, family. Okay, families, sorry about that. Good. How to create digital products in 2025. Shout out para speech. And we'll go with standard mode. We'll hit next. Same thing. Learn how to create digital products in 2025. And this right here is kind of like the AI. So if you don't know, you'll hit that. The AI will go back and see what you was talking about, step by step, expert templates fast. And if you don't like it, you could just hit it again and it'll think of something else. We'll just go with that. This is just people that just want to just get it and go, because remember, this is the process required to get it started. So if you're just in a hurry to get it started, you put this out here, and then when you get in the agent mode, if you want to edit it, you could do that. But if you're just in a hurry and want to get it done, you could just hit this right here. So I appreciate Ben for putting that there. So yes, we want to include a FAQ section. Brian at theintrovertedmarketer.online. Okay, so I got most of that done for me, and we appreciate that. And we'll hit next. Okay. And then we're on home page, privacy policy and terms of service, which are all general. You can modify if you wish. Minimal clean. We go with minimal and clean. It's the introvert in me. Professional corporate, absolutely not. Friendly and soft, that's fine. Spacious, we'll just go with compact. We like neutral and sharp. We like minimal. We like outline. And of course, inline minimal. And we will use friendly and approachable. We like that. You know what? Ultra minimal. We like that. So we'll go with that. And here we are. We'll do that. And I'll pause the video and we'll tap back in once it's done. And I'll also show you an open router how much it costs. But for now, just stay tuned, family. Okay, family, it did take a little while. I did refresh the page, so I don't know if it took 13 minutes, but I did go and make myself some tea. And it is, I'm celebrating, family, because it took me a minute for it to get like this, but I also learned something, and I'm going to head over into projects. When certain websites are inactive, once you fix everything with GitLab, you go over here and you can restore things. And I actually went and restored some of my websites. So, but they do say that they're inactive right now. But this also says inactive, but it also says that over here, go to view site and it's there. And these are still inactive, I believe. But before we get into that, I want to go over the open router and show you what it costs to make. So we can see here it used primarily GPT 5.1, Claude Haiku, and Gemini Pro. And we'll go ahead and ask ChatGPT. Can you add up everything in the cost column and tell me the total cost, please? And we'll see how much it costs to make that one website. And just making sure we go side by side to make sure the AI got the correct numbers from 0.096 all the way down to 0.029, which is twice. So it added everything up. And to make that website, it cost me $1. And we're going to check out what the website looks like. We'll close this out. And we'll head back over to Git Page. And we'll go ahead and view the site because it is live. And here it is. It's a fully functional website. It is hosted on GitLab. It has a link. And in fact, let's get funky with it and go over to a new tab and go to page. We'll go here and we'll put in the link and see how fast it is. And I say this video was a few days in the making because I was definitely having issues with the instructions. It was a few days in the making, so definitely feel a sense of relief finally getting it right. And now I can finally actually use this in ways that I want to. And also I get to make this great video for you. So page speed on mobile doesn't give it a great performance, unfortunately. But for desktop, it's pretty okay. You get an 89 on mobile. Okay. Is where it kind of has a bit of an issue. That is page speed assessment. You can see here the site. We click here and it goes over to my website. Boom. But it is a fully functional website as a FAQ. And when you send wherever, if you put a message here, it'll definitely go to my email. It even has my email right here. It has TOS. So these are all live links. It has a privacy policy, which you can modify however you wish. And I'm actually going to be doing a video on a tool that helps you come up with a baseline for privacy policy, where you could just copy and paste and modify it to your needs. Because I think that's something that people that are beginner marketers and people like myself, we overlook, is needing to make sure that our TOS and privacy policy is on point, because people do what people do, and you want to make sure that people are informed about what their rights are and that you're protected. And they have links here, and you can just go in to the agent and modify these if you wish. And this just overall looks pretty daggone slick, I must admit. It loads extremely fast in my opinion. We go back over here, and if we go into the edit mode, one of the first things Ben did in the video was to add a schema markup, so we go ahead and do that. And that's always going to cost me some credits in Open Router, but we already spent $1, so we invested in it. Schema markup added, and it shows what it did right there. And then we can go ahead and build a sitemap. If we have a custom domain, we could put it here. But since I'm just going to use the default URL, and we'll go from there and generate the sitemap. And it shows right there what it did. Of course, we have the blog. And we can add pages if we want. So everything is pretty much maintained on Git Page for your website. But also you can, when you make your edits, you can go ahead and just click publish. It's going to publish everything and make it live on your website. So it's going to let you know when you made some changes and that you need to publish it. And then you go from there. And if you ever want to just go back, you just click that, and that's how you go back. You can see right here, it is live. And the agent is here. And we have our blog. And this is all created with AI, how to create digital products in 2025. And pretty much this was made in about 10 or so minutes. But it's not just about the creation of the code, family. It's about the creation of the code, and it's actually hosted on GitLab. So it did all that for you. And all you had to do is answer some questions. And then if you want to change anything, you could pretty much say whatever you want to do here in the agent, or you can ask a question if you choose. If you want to add a new blog, you could go ahead and add a blog. And it'll give you some options here. Like, let's say I wanted to create a website and just do roundups on it. And if you don't know what Roundups is, I suggest you check out my video on Roundups for affiliate marketing, affiliate products. If I wanted to create a website and just put Roundup products on here, because with GitLab, we can monetize on it according to their current terms of service. I could just put the information here, the HTML code, and I could go from here. So let's say I just wanted to create a brand new blog article. We can just say, let's say we wanted to create a blog title for just digital products. Creating digital products. You could put keywords if you want, or just leave it blank for now. Describe the blog content and the topics you want to cover. The content of the blog should talk about creating digital products, the type of digital products one can make, and the type of audiences the digital products should be aimed at. I hope that made sense. Content, type of audiences and type of audiences the digital products should be aimed at. And of course, you can upload things if you want, like images. So we can put for keyword digital product. Let me see. Digital product. So there's the keyword. Let me go ahead and hit this. I added a keyword, so I wonder what the issue is. Also, I didn't show you this, but you click here, and since we don't want to spend too much of our credits on this, we'll just do a 500-word article. But let me see what the issue is here. Okay, you got to press tab. Reading is fundamental. Okay. Digital product. Digital product creation. How to create a digital product. Learn how to create a digital product. So we have our keywords. We'll hit this. So I'll create a new blog post titled Creating Digital Products. And it's going to go ahead and do that. It shows the time right here for the conversation. And the whole purpose of this is just showing you how you can just use the agent mode to do whatever you want. Now, is it going to cost you credits each and every time? Yes, it is. And that is the thing you need to understand is it is going to cost you credits because it's going in there and it's making the modifications for you. And that is just something to consider. So, in my opinion, when you're using the agent mode to make these credits, you need to be very specific and intentional. So you're not wasting your credits. And here it says use the same image. And pretty much, all right. So I don't know where it's getting these images from. It looks like it might be getting it from some platform because it's not an AI image and they use the same image. But you can see there it created a blog post and it didn't cost, it didn't take any time. I'm not going to say it didn't cost anything. And if you click over to the blog and it shows our blog, it does show the first blog and it does show some placeholder blogs. What it doesn't do is show the next blog. And then I wonder, do we need to do anything to make it go live here? Because we do have website here. We can just refresh that. And we go down and we go to blog. And it shows the blog here. We click here and it takes us here. So one thing I do notice with the blog is it does seem that the blogs are not connected. So even though the page is live, there's no way to navigate it to it on the website. Like there's no link for this blog. Like I want to say like it's an orphan page because it's not connected to anything. But that's a small issue. I could just tell the agent to connect the blog here because really you could tell the AI to do whatever it is that you want. The whole purpose of me creating this extra blog, which I don't need because it's pretty much the same thing as the original first blog, was just to show you that you can use the agent to do whatever you want. But in addition, you could just edit text here. Instead of putting our blog, your blog. And then you show us in draft and you can publish it if you want the correction or not. So some certain things, rather, you can do on your own, like modifying text, and that doesn't involve doing anything with the AI. But in terms of like creating pages and things like that, the HTML, the AI is going to do that. So that's just something you need to consider. But you could go ahead and modify whatever you want with in terms of the text and how it's created. But the actual code on the website, that's going to cost you credit. So that's something you need to keep in mind when you're playing around with this. But if you just wanted to go in and just like modify the privacy policy or whatever it is that you wanted to do, you could do that on your own. So you can so you can save your open router credits, and that's just sensible. But if not, you could go ahead and ask the agent to go ahead and do it for you. And you can see right here, you got a character limit. So that's just how that's working. But this video is already going on 40 minutes. So I just want to head back to GitPage.site and close it up. So what are my thoughts on GitPage.site? So I suggest you check out Ben's video. He dropped it today, a new video. Look at the potential right here, 570 websites. Now I was going through everything slow just so you can understand that it is a process to go through it. Like, don't just watch his video and think that it's going to be like that. You need to watch videos like mine or other people where they go through the process so you can see that it is a process. But I'll leave a link in the description to the video so you can watch the process. It's a little bit more fast and clean cut with all the edits and shows you. I just showed you the whole process, the terms and conditions, the actual setting up the website, and some edits. But Ben goes a little bit more in depth. I'm just giving my take on it and bringing it to you because I think that it's a great tool. It's a lifetime deal. You own the code, whether or not GitHub or GitLab changes their policy, it don't matter. You just make sure if you want to keep the code, you download the code because things could change. But that's the main point of this video. It definitely gets 2 thumbs up from me. There's just a little bit of almost technical stuff involved in terms of setting it up. But after that, once you figure out how to set it up, it's good to go. So definitely 2 thumbs up from me. Make sure you check out GitPage.site. Once again, with the pricing, it's $149 for the basic, and it's $299 for the pro at the time when it's recording on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video right here. This is Brian, the introverted marketer, and it ain't hard to tell. It's simple. I'm going to catch you on the next video, fam. Peace.